So yeah, thank you guys all for coming. Yay. I love these things. I could talk about wellness all day long. So I've definitely lived my whole life loving this subject. So yay. But yeah, thank you for joining me today. I am really passionate about gut health, and I really do feel that your gut microbiome and your health really significantly impacts your overall health. So that's a lot of what we're talking about today, and how kombucha specifically can support your microbiome and your health. So there we are. So essentially, I just want to kind of give a disclaimer. I am a registered nurse. I'm also a wellness coach, and I am a brand partner for a business that supports supplementation, that supports the microbiome and health. And so I'll go over a little bit of that, but essentially I'm here to offer you information. I'm not here to be your nurse or offer you nursing advice, but I'm certainly here to give you my insights of what my health journey has been, and as far as what it goes to the microbiome and such, and give you some information about what I've researched over time when it comes to gut health and kombucha and that kind of thing. And then as far as I do believe that kombucha has profound health benefits. I personally feel that it makes a huge impact on my gut health. And certainly when it comes, I feel like it boosts my energy. And certainly when it comes to kombucha and the health benefits, there are certainly out there, because this is the information age. Everyone has a different perspective on whether or not they feel kombucha supports your health. But the bottom line for me is that I think you listen to your own body and really listen and pay attention to what your gut really needs. Because to me, when I drink kombucha, hands down, I feel better in my energy. I feel better in my health. And I think that's important to pay attention to. So we'll get into that a little bit further, but just want to give you a heads up. And then as far as this wellness series goes, I'm hoping to do a series of monthly talks on wellness. So if you have any suggestions, if you want to write down any wellness topics that you're inspired by, definitely write that down over there. Be creative. Different topics like organic food, balanced nourishment, sustainable farming, agriculture, fitness, spirituality. I love all of it. So yeah, let me know. Let me know what inspires you with that. And I would, in the future, I'd really like to have some of my nurse friends, my people I've worked with in all different fields of nursing. I've had labor and delivery nurse, pediatricians, orthopedic people that I've worked with that I think would really be in service to offering wellness talks as well with me to co-host these events. So in the future, I will let you know what more events will be coming up with those types of talks. And like I said, you can check on, I've got a 6-week women's wellness program where I implement some of these products in like an ultimate lifestyle transformation, in addition to like mind, body, spirit health, so that for women specifically, and it's an online program. So if you want more information about that, you've got the sign up list there. Otherwise, do you have any questions so far? I definitely want you guys to engage in this. I'll ask you some questions along the way. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get this started. So do any of you know what kombucha is? What is that stuff you're drinking? It definitely has those properties. It is essentially, it's fermented tea beverage. It is, let me know if I'm in any of your way. Am I in your way standing here? Okay. It's a fermented tea beverage. It consists of 15% black tea, 85% green tea, made by combining that with sugar and then the SCOBY, the beautiful SCOBY there. I don't know if any of you have ever seen that SCOBY. if you really know what it is and if you're passionate about fermentation like I am, I think that it's beautiful, but maybe some people might not think it's so gorgeous. But it is essentially that SCOBY it's a symbiotic colony of bacteria and yeast that support the microbiome health. So it really helps you establish that community that helps support your health and wellness. So essentially, once they've combined all of that in that process with the SCOBY, they ferment it for about a week. And then once that is all fermented and prepared for you with all that good, rich probiotic, then it is infused with juices and things like that and carbonated. So that gives you kind of an overview of what you're drinking and how it could really be supportive to you. And yeah, it's a fermented tea that's been used medicinally for thousands of years, and it's said to have originated in China and Japan. So to get an idea of where it came from, and that people have actually been doing this a lot longer than we have, because since it's coming into the mainstream in the US here. So what is the gut microbiome? Anybody?
Like over 400 bacteria that off of us.
Yeah, more than that, way more. So trillions of microorganisms on your skin and in your body. That's, yeah, so absolutely. Those those microorganisms that establish that symbiotic community all in and outside your skin. So basically, to sum up what the microbiome is, you actually, it starts with your DNA, and then you start to establish this community of bacteria and organisms when you go through your mother's birth canal and when you take your mother's breast milk. If you've gone through a C-section or you didn't take breast milk, then you potentially have a little bit of a greater risk of that hospital acquired bacteria, because your body's trying to establish some balance with that bacteria. And you don't have those like bacteria from your mother's birth canal to support like fighting off different pathogens, that kind of thing. Later on in life, you start to acquire bacteria from your environment and what you ingest. And those things that you ingest will either support your health or support disease. So that's kind of what we're about to talk about here. And the microbiome is, like, scientifically speaking, they've really said that it is your second brain. It is your powerhouse for immunity. And it really does, it allows for that. It's responsible for 80% of your immune response. To get an idea of why it is so crucial, we tend to this gut of ours that needs that support. So then essentially a little bit more onto that. What do you guys think the microbiome, why is it important for your health? Why is it key for your health? Anybody? Any takers?
So all of these different organisms have a different job, and they help us digest food and give us access to different nutrients and stuff like that. And if you don't eat well, you're going to deplete those varieties, so you're going to take in less nutrients.
Yes, that is so perfect. Absolutely. You deplete that because a lot of what we eat in those processed foods and those chemicals can kill off that good bacteria. And then you're not able to, like, allow that community to really work for you. So yeah, you explained it so perfect. Thank you. So yeah, essentially what she was talking about is that a healthy microbiome or gut health is that symbiotic community that I spoke of healthy bacteria that really support you. It stimulates your immune system to fight off those pathogens. It also helps to, it helps you, like she was saying, it helps you be able to use certain vitamins and amino acids. It also can help you break down potentially toxic compounds from certain foods that we ingest, like those processed foods or contaminated meat. It is, and like I said, it's that powerhouse of our immunity. It helps us prevent disease. And certainly in this time, we need that immunity. We need that immune support. So I consider it like your military within. It is that, but I also call it a community. It's more than just a military fighting things off. It is a community supporting you in, and what it is too is that it can cause certain microbes in your body that are harmful. They can actually cause you to have, they might be the underlying cause of your food cravings. They could be why you're craving certain things that don't serve you, like sugar, processed foods, an overabundance of meat, which certainly in the Midwest, what do we eat? We eat meats and potatoes and fried foods, so comfort foods. So comfort, I say comfort with quotes, because is it really comfortable to have inflammation because you've eaten all that stuff? I'm not sure. So and then so essentially, once you're able to kind of detoxify that microbiome enough, then you're able to get all that yuck and guck that you've been building up over time, so that you can actually allow your villi in your stomach to absorb nutrients properly. Because if you've got all that toxic buildup, hands down, you have a layer preventing you from getting those nutrients that you need. That's why we are an overfed and undernourished society, because we are getting really poor nutrients. We are not getting nutrients in our food. We have all that toxic waste. So we need to learn how to support a balance in our lives with our microbiome. And like I said, when it comes to having a healthy microbiome, once you establish those healthy microbes in your gut, they allow you to crave things like, I know people don't believe me with this, but I promise you can start craving like an apple or vegetables. It's actually a possibility. So I've had way too many people be like, yeah, that's never going to happen. I will never eat an apple instead of a Twinkie. But I promise it's possible. I can tell you firsthand that when you establish that like core nourishment, you can crave things. Like I've been really surprised lately that I've been craving salad or apples and carrots. And so it's definitely possible. So now I've kind of went over this already, but what supports your microbiome health?
Healthy diet.
Absolutely. Healthy and clean diet. Yeah. And kombucha. We got to talk about that, right? That is the point, right? That is something that can definitely support it. So with that support, like probiotics, whether you get it from living probiotics. So when I say probiotic, you have to be mindful of products that aren't pasteurized, because when something says that it's fermented and they've actually pasteurized it, they've killed off so many of those helpful bacteria. So it's not like a proper fermentation in my mind, because you want to have that raw kombucha like this, where you have something that isn't pasteurized and that's mindfully prepared, so that it maintains those healthy microbes. And so when it comes to probiotic, also make sure that if you're doing capsule form of probiotic, that you get good quality sources for that have allowed for that, by those microbes to really be in there to give you a healthy gut microbiome. And then I just want to express too that I really feel that when it comes to getting those things, it's best to get it from your diet if you can. Probiotic pills, anything in pill form potentially isn't always going to be when it comes to probiotic, at least it's not going to have as impactful an experience as it would be if you took like kombucha or apple cider vinegar, or kimchi. And like I said, I have those kimchi recipes if you guys want some. It's my favorite kimchi and I love it. And it really does. I can feel it in my body when I eat those things. You can like really feel the intensity. And some people, if you haven't really had a good established community of healthy bacteria in your gut, and you start to take these products, ease into it. please, because your body needs some time to really allow itself to adjust to that new community of bacteria that wants to support you. So you may have some release of things that don't serve you, if that makes sense. So some people get kind of nervous, like, oh, I can't drink kombucha, it makes me go to the bathroom all the time. And I'm like, yeah, because you need to go to the bathroom, because you probably haven't been going to the bathroom enough. Like, I just think that if your body has that reaction, sometimes, and of course you have to listen to your own body to know for sure what your experience is. We all have different issues that may be impacting us in that way, but really listen to that, because sometimes our body needs to let go of that waste, and so that we can establish that healthy bacteria, because they're fighting for you, and that's why you might be letting go of things. So then essentially, how does kombucha specifically support your health, and what do you think are other benefits of kombucha? Other than like the probiotic benefits, what do you think could be helpful with kombucha? Hey, right? Actually, that's a good one, because it gives me a lot of energy, and I'm sensitive, like I can't even do coffee, but I do drink kombucha to keep me like my energy up. Also, the funny thing about that is that kombucha, what was I gonna say? So kombucha not only gives you energy, but it's, yeah, I think I'll remember. I gotta remember. I was gonna say something real awesome, but I don't remember anything of it. It'll come back to me. But yeah, essentially, absolutely, it can support some energy for you. I probably have it written out on here anyways, but so essentially the green tea that is, like I said, 85% of the tea that's used in kombucha is green tea. Green tea in itself offers those antioxidants, and with the antioxidant benefits, that supports better cell health and integrity because those antioxidants help reduce those free radicals that damage your cells. Also, green tea is shown in studies to increase the number of calories you burn, help control blood sugar, and improve cholesterol levels. So in essence, with the rat studies I mentioned on here, kombucha has had an impact on improving cholesterol levels, lowering that bad cholesterol, thus has the potential to support better heart health, right? And then the acetic acid in kombucha has the ability to kill off that harmful bacteria in your gut. And then it has that probiotic as well to reestablish that good bacteria in your gut. So it's a pretty phenomenal. What I was gonna say, I'm so glad it came back to me. Since I don't personally, I'm really sensitive to alcohol as well, so I do not drink alcohol, but I used to drink alcohol. So there's that like communal thing where I want to like be with my friends and they're drinking wine, and I'm like, okay, so I drink my kombucha in a wine glass. I highly recommend it. It's way more fancy and fun. It makes me feel like I'm part of the group. So, and then you can tell people, well, what are you drinking? Well, I'm drinking kombucha. I feel great, you know? So yeah, I highly recommend that. So one thing when it comes to establishing health in your microbiome, I have to say this, it's hard to say in the community of being in the Midwest surrounded by cornfields that we are all potentially more at risk for that glyphosate spray. So the glyphosate is in Roundup, and it is it's a chemical in Roundup that causes that sprays the fields, and hands down we all get exposed to this, especially in the Midwest. We're way more exposed to it, and we all probably have friends that are farmers or that work in the fields with this. And I just want to be very conscious to say that I care about everyone's gut health and balance, and I think it's important to be mindful of the fact that this could impact us. So glyphosate can impact the gut health and microbiome. It can kill off healthy bacteria in your gut. It can block absorption of nutrients. The World Health Organization labeled it as a probable carcinogen. And anyways, it can affect cells. It can increase inflammation, and essentially because this is the information age, we all get to like look that up for ourselves, right? Know what works best for you in that. But there are ways to detoxify that from your system so that you can have better absorption of nutrients. And I will be giving away one of those products at the end. It's known to get 74% of the glyphosate out of your system so that you can alleviate that and support like nourishing yourself after that, so that you can nourishing yourself with kombucha after you've detoxified that glyphosate so that you can absorb those healthy microbes. So anyway, so essentially the conclusion is that kombucha and other fermented beverages and foods have the potential to support your health with gut microbiome health. Thus, you have the potential to support your immunity, to fight off disease, or to prevent disease. Also, it has the potential to lower cholesterol and support your heart health. It has the potential to help you better manage things like type 2 diabetes, because it allows you to have slower digestion of those carbohydrates, thus allowing you to have lower blood sugar levels. Antioxidants support your cells, like I mentioned. Kombucha tastes amazing and brings beautiful, like-minded community together like you. And it supports great people like my husband and their 2 partners in this business. So yay for kombucha. And I just talked about the glyphosate. So yeah, whatever we can do to rid ourselves of things that don't serve us and bring in the things that do, right? And like I said, you can sign up on my email list. I've got like an array of products. For instance, I just did this 30-day transformation with all this, where it's got like you have 2 meal replacement shakes a day, 1 healthy meal, and then you take this supplementation. It's like I felt like it was a really easy way because I really don't like cooking meals. So I thought it was nice not having to cook 2 meals a day. That alone was amazing. So I lost actually I'm at 14 pounds now and counting, and I feel 100% better after a month. I've not slept this good, certainly after having 2 kids, haven't slept in years. So I'm just glad that I'm finally sleeping. And I have way more energy and stamina than I've had forever. So if you're ever interested in knowing about those products, let me know. I implement these products into my 6-week women's tribe program for this specific system to get that gut reset and everything to support your microbiome. And hey, drink kombucha, yay, because kombucha helps to support your health. And like I said, there's also a cocktail party, kombucha cocktail party next week if you want to have some cocktails and kombucha in one. Talk about using, I'll probably have my virgin cocktail, but yeah, you've got amazing people there to support you there. But yeah, let me know if you want any of that information. Like I said, I've got that, I told you, I tend to repeat myself, but yeah, kimchi, anyone? Do any of you guys have any questions?
I do.
Yeah.
Can you drink too much of this?
Kombucha?
Yeah, like in a day.
Well, so kombucha, that's a really great question, because actually kombucha, that's why I say to really pay attention to your body, because your body knows when it's had enough when it comes to those microbes and establishing that healthy community. Your individual body will need more or less depending on what serves you. So you really just have to listen to your body. Now, there have been a lot of studies as far as like, I mean, I've had people that I've studied that or even physicians that have like insist on still drinking like a considerable amount of kombucha. So I personally can drink a lot of kombucha in a day. I can, for a while there, I was even drinking at least like 32 ounces of kombucha a day. So I do fine with it, but a lot of people, I feel kind of maybe like one glass of 16 ounce or more, depending on their preference. So I would say that's a total individual thing.
How much sugar is in a glass?
That's something I need to ask Kyle. I'll let you know. He typically, typically a lot of it's fermented off, but there is some residual sugar. But Kyle would definitely be the expert to ask about that because, yeah. Oh, actually, typically, I think each bottle is about 60 calories for a bottle of kombucha. If I'm not mistaken, I think every bottle would be approximately 60 calories at most. Yeah, so it's really minimal on the calorie intake. Yeah.
A little bit about prebiotics versus probiotics.
I knew I might get that conversation, and I meant to look that up a little bit more because I'm personally learning more about prebiotic as well, because a lot of this stuff has the pre and probiotic.
Yeah.
Essentially, like what she was saying is that it's preparing your body, like to sum it up, it's like preparing your body for those microbes to be able to like colonize health in a healthy way.
So isn't it that it's more, the pre is more like digested?
Do you know this, Katie? Okay, see, you made such a great question because I am gonna look that up more because I need to learn more about prebiotic. Yeah, so I'll definitely get more information about that and follow that up on the next talk for sure, no matter what we're talking about. Yeah, thank you. That's a great question. Anybody else have any questions? Yeah.
You have someone that says I don't take any sugar. How do you offset that?
Well, and that's, yeah, so that is why I was sharing that study, because there have been studies on, so actually, and I don't know if I mentioned that in here or not. So there was a study done on rats that where they induced diabetes in these rats, and then they put them through, like, I think it was like a month-long course, because anything like this you're going to need. When it comes to nourishment, you need to establish the nourishment over time. It's like taking supplements. They're not a quick fix. They are something you need to allow yourself to establish it over time. So the reason, so like diabetics that are kind of have an aversion to eating things or drinking things with sugar. And again, they have to listen to their own body. But the study essentially indicated that daily doses of kombucha over a 30-day period actually had potential curative effects of diabetes. So again, I think that, and that's just one study, and it's on rats that had diabetes induced, so I mean, I tend to be very analytical, so I always look at all the options, but you kind of have to just, again, gauge it on what's best for your own body, because some people will say too that they don't want like fruits or certain vegetables because it's too sugary. And I'm like, to me, that is like the opposite of health. If anyone says that you shouldn't be having fruits and vegetables, especially clean organic fruits and vegetables, it's just, in my opinion, is not the natural way to go about what your body is in service, like what serves your body. So so I really think that like establishing nourishment and healthy gut health is hands down the most essential thing for your overall health, no matter what disease process you're going through. And that is my opinion. That is my experience of over 15 years of nursing, where I've seen how medications and overuse of antibiotics and an array of different things, that therapies that we use, can significantly deplete that microbiome, continuing to allow us to get sick. And then we're perpetually going to the hospital, and never getting better. So one of my favorite quotes is, what you don't change, you're choosing. So if you don't want to try something new, then maybe you're never going to have anything new. It's like so anyways, anybody else have any questions? It's such good questions.
Well, you touched on the fact of like 15 minutes. So when you're trying to establish health, but like take out your protein, whatever. Does that counterbalance what you're trying to
Yeah, I really think that it does. I mean, I really think that when it comes to those types of medications or anything that could affect the chemical imbalance or balance of your body, they're meant to, in my mind, those things are only ever meant to be taken if you absolutely need it. Like if you are in so much pain and you can't stand it another minute longer, then by all means do what you need to give yourself some peace in that moment. But especially any long-term use of these things, you are messing with the whole chemistry and makeup of your body. You are potentially depleting your microbiome. It also can affect your hormone balance in your body, and then an array of things, right? So I just personally believe that it's important to go to the base of root nourishment and remember that our bodies are powerful. I've worked as a nurse for over 15 years, right? I've seen the miracles that our bodies can create by, like, I mean, if you tend to your body nourishment wise, if you tend to your body by being thoughtful of not allowing certain chemicals in your system that you don't need, or if you're thoughtful even just about your mindset and how that impacts your body and your health, all of these factors I think are essential to be mindful of. So yes. Thank you so much. Such great questions. Yay. Do any of you have any other questions before I get this thing drawn over here?
I was going to say, you can make kombucha with like honey and like sugar, like substitute.
Oh yeah.
If you make it,
It's called June kombucha or something.
yeah, if you make it at home, you can like regulate how much sugar you like. So like they make it so that it's flat for everyone, so there is not a bit of sugar left, but just put enough in just for the survive. And you're not going to have it. But it's
Yeah.
going to be like the water.
That's actually really beautiful because there is something called June kombucha that's fermented with the honey, with natural honey. So yeah, it's fabulous too. It's got that nice honey flavor if you like honey.
Just needs some kind of sweetener to account for it.
As long as you're feeding those microbes to allow for that colony to survive, then yeah, absolutely. So yeah, any other questions before I get this drawn over here? Thank you guys so much. This is like my favorite thing, so I appreciate it. So yeah, we'll give away a couple of things. All right, Mary Schwenk. It's always better. So there's a couple of different options here, Mary. There's Biomedic, which is what takes away 74% of that glyphosate in your system to detoxify, and it also gives you good energy. It's really phenomenal and has really great ingredients. But there's that. And then there's Bee Energetic that has bee pollen in it, and it is intended to, it's got other things in it too, and you can pull this back to get the nutrients in there. But it helps you with all of us stressed out all the time. Our adrenal health is definitely potentially depleted. So this helps kind of establish better adrenal function so that you can have better energy throughout the day. So which one do you want, Mama?
Doesn't matter.
I guess you choose. Get your health, your gut. Let's do the microbiome for your gut. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I was trying to be thoughtful of people that don't want to touch everybody's pins. All right. Stacy Young. Yay. Yay. So it gets some energy and adrenal health. Yay. Yeah. And they've got like instructions on there. It's really hard to peel back this start label.
Yeah.
It takes me forever. So I guess.
Yeah,
It's a possible feat. And actually, if you look up Purium's iShopPurium.com, you can look up all the ingredients and what the health benefits are. And I've got like discount codes if you ever want anything from there. Yeah.
How did you find this company?
So one of my friends from Oregon that I used to do a lot of like spiritual ceremony with, she is somebody I really trust and somebody I really care about that I used to know years back when I lived in Oregon. And she used to have a psychotherapy practice for years, where she made like a good amount of money per month. And so she actually ended up, because she's so passionate about nourishment, once she found out about these products, then she lost a lot of weight, has more energy than ever, and decided she wanted to have it as a business. So she's been thriving and making like double what she was making before she was a psychotherapist. And she's still like, she's really thoughtful about making it like about wanting to like love on people and like have them be healthy, you know, so it doesn't ever feel like marketing to me, which I hate that word. I hate sales. So I just am always wanting to be mindful that I'm here to serve like your health, and I would never ever market something if it wasn't something I knew that was so important for us to be healthy, right? Because we need this kind of stuff. Like, we're such an unhealthy culture in a lot of ways. Yeah. Especially now with wanting to get our immunity up. So yeah, that's why I got into this. She introduced it to me and I was like, I don't know, sounds pretty salesy to me. And so I ended up I used it for a couple of weeks to make sure it was something that really felt good. And I already had tons of like health benefits for us. So like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And then I did the business part and have been doing that for the last couple of weeks. And like I said, lost 14 pounds. I finally lost some of my baby weight. I'm almost to my pre-baby weight. And so, yay. Yeah.
Are you familiar with Soul Care?
Soul Care? No, I'm not sure.
Yeah, they're an organization across the street, actually, and they do workshops and
Oh, fun.
well-being. You should get in touch with
Oh,
them.
that's so
Yeah,
perfect.
you should get in touch with her. She'd be interested in having her.
Oh, yay. I'll do that. Well, cool. Does anyone else have anything, any questions or anything?
I think I do.
Yeah.
So if you did like the 30-day
Yeah.
and you got all squared away, what's the maintenance look like?
So and I mean, it would be like whatever works best for people. I do think that generally the maintenance, it's ideal to have like at least a shake a day, because the shake alone has like, I think 94% of your daily nutrients, so that you're at least getting that like nutrient base. And then there's different supplements like Biomedic to continue to like release your system of like those detox your system. And there's like different kits that different people will want based on if you want like performance, or if you want like to maintenance, or if there's different products that support, like some of them are like protein products for like coffee products to kind of try to help support energy in a different way. Yeah, there's all kinds of options there. Yeah. Anything else? Thank you guys again. Thanks for showing up. You guys, I didn't know if I was gonna be the only one up here, so yay.
And you're gonna do this monthly?
Yeah, so I'll be posting flyers, and then if you follow me on like the Facebook feeds, I'll post them on Facebook and Instagram as to when my upcoming talks will be and what. And there's a paper over here with all my Facebook stuff if you want it. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm trying to do the social media thing. So yeah. So let me know if you ever have questions. And you can email, my email's on there too. Yeah, that's the sign up list. You do. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Good job, Kami.
I'm excited about future talks. I can't wait to see what people want to talk about. So
Have you
it's